Good afternoon, math team. How's everyone?
Yeah, it was a good day.
All right, well, how many days left do we have?
11?
11?
How do y'all keep count? I just feel like it's Monday every day.
11 or
It just
12, I
keeps
don't
being
know.
Monday.
No, today's ended, so 11.
It felt like a little bit of a Monday today. I think we have earned our weekend. All right, so I just want to talk to you about your MTSS and your Tier 2. So if everyone could pull up Clever for me and your Fast Bridge. How's everything going, just in general? Temperature check.
I'd say compared to last year, they're working a lot better
Okay.
in finishing their Zerns. It's still sometimes a challenge to get them to write the math down,
Okay.
but some are.
Mhm.
But overall, they're completing it, and they can't finish the Tower of Power without getting them correct, so they're just getting them correct to finish. So.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Smith?
They're a lot more willing to participate in the whole program, the whole MTSS. They're doing the Zerns. Yeah, so they're completing them. I'm checking in, I'm seeing the progress reports, and we're seeing that they're moving on to the next level. Like you said, they're doing the Tower of Powers, and they're getting some of the concepts. I just wish that they were more engaged with the mini lessons
Okay.
before, during, after the Zerns.
Okay.
And then, like you said, writing down their work, they just won't show their work.
So one thing I noticed that you said was that you looked at the data to see that they were making progress. All right, so that's one thing that we're gonna be looking at today. What about you, Ms. Grove?
Whew, well, the group I worked a lot with last year with Miss Kirby, and so they see the group and how it's been fluid, it's been changing based on the needs, and so I think the group that I have this year in my 10, that you had last year, give or take.
Yeah.
But they, it's like they bought in.
Okay.
I think that's what's helpful about like in 5th grade, if they don't know it's any other way, then now they just know that that's what we do. And so I think I got some buy-in more this year, cause they're in it again.
So that's one thing I've noticed too, as last year was our year 1 implementation, year 2, they're more, they're not as reluctant to go. They know, they seem like when they're in there, they're on task. And as you will see, for the majority, you'll see their trends and you'll see that they're going in the right direction. They're responding, it looks like, to the intervention. So the first thing, once you pull up your map, your Fast Bridge.
Fast Bridge.
First thing I wanna do is show you how to filter just your students and, not be able to see Miss Kelly's. Cause sometimes when you see your, EC students mixed in with just your true Tier 2 students, it's kinda like jumbled up. So where it says monitoring user, like where it says Alan J, grade, subject area, monitoring assessment, the next drop down arrow is monitoring user. And just click on your name. So right now I'm on Smith.
Yeah, do you wanna show them?
Yes.
Oh no, maybe not.
Why,
We can get up and walk around if you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flat screen.
Well, I mean, I guess I could.
I'm scared to unplug this, but, so once you do that,
To go in, I'll
monitor
go in the
you.
progress
Yeah,
monitoring.
progress
Okay.
monitoring.
Oh,
and then
okay.
just click. And so you will have only just Tier 2, not Tier 2 and Tier 3.
Progress monitoring.
So the first person I see for Smith is our friend May. She's so
Mhm.
sweet.
I got it.
Gotcha,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah, no,
So
I'm
it-
like, oh, well, I'm here.
So
So you said go to
monitoring user,
user, there it is.
and just
Type.
click on your particular name, just to filter out your EC student. All right, so the next thing I want you to do is just click on all your students. We're gonna pull up their graphs. So we just click on the side with the
check boxes.
check
all of
boxes,
them?
all of them. And then if you go across the top, you're gonna see a blue bar that says like 10 records selected. You see that?
Yes.
Go over where it says PM report. And once you click on that, you're gonna see some nice graphs. So I'm gonna give you about a minute just to kind of go through the graphs and look at the data. And just kind of see where they're going. One thing I definitely wanted to point out, the importance of the data points, because you have to have at least 3 data points to establish their trend line, so you can see whether they're trending up, growing, or trending down. So if you just kind of look at yours and maybe see if there's any students that don't have a trend line, or see any students that may be not going in the right direction. So going forward, we definitely want to express the importance of getting all the data, because one thing Ms. Grove and I talked about earlier, that this is a more frequent assessment of their growth. We want to meet growth. We definitely want proficiency, but this is letting you know that they're growing. So by the time they get to the EOG, they're going to meet some type of growth. They're going to move from 1 percentile to the other. So find an example of a student that is trending upward, Mr. Smith. From your
Upward?
Yes.
Okay.
I just saw one that just hit my eye that I haven't seen him all week.
Right, Amari.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, he spiked up there, right? All right, so if you look at Amari's data, what can you just tell me by looking at it?
It took a dramatic hit, and then we just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going. I mean, for what he did these 3 times, he did well. You know, so he was on track, but it just kind of stopped.
Well, I think that's because we haven't done another progress monitoring.
Right.
So that's what,
Okay.
yeah.
So for it looks like the 3 times he continued to grow.
To grow.
So we could project maybe that he's gonna.
I forgot. I'm thinking this is Zerns. I'm so sorry.
No, not
Yes,
Zerns.
yes. Okay. So so based on progress monitoring, he's growing, and it's a very rapid growth, is what it looks like. It's because it's more vertical than it is horizontal.
Exactly. That's all I wanted you to see. Now, let's see if pick someone that you may have a concern with, and then I'm gonna ask you the same question.
So
I'm sorry.
so we see Kalia.
She was, I pointed her out earlier.
Yeah, you did.
So we started off kind of low,
Mm-hmm.
and then instead of going, and then we kind of maintained this second point, and then we started to go back down.
So, I would say she's an area of focus
Mhm.
for Kalia. We gotta get her trending back in the correct ways. I don't know, that could be the intervention. You know, Kalia, if we know Kalia without putting her personal into it mornings, you know, it takes a minute for her to get adjusted. So we'll continue to look at Kalia's data and see. She probably gets monitored a lot more because she is EC as well in another, but for math, these are all her data seems to be trending in the wrong direction. So we gotta figure out and come up with a plan. That will be our next meeting for that. So moving to 7th grade, Ms. Kirby. Let's see if who have you chosen as a indicator of positive growth?
Good old Landon Whitfield.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh, I wanna hear this.
Me too. I like that name.
Yeah.
Just tell me about my phone.
Yeah, because he's the last 2 progress monitoring, he's been pretty high.
Okay.
And he started out, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the numbers on the left mean. He started out at a 1, then he was at a 3.5, and now he's at a 4.
Wow.
So he was below the line, and now both of them are above it. And he's one, I don't know if it's the online format, but because even what's today? Thursday? Yeah, yesterday's Wednesday. He was my only one yesterday that I did yesterday as a catch up on Zern. He's knocked out all of his
Oh,
Zerns.
good. So it's showing.
It's showing
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, do you think if Landon continues to trend in that area when he takes his next math assessment, do you think he may place out of interventions for MTSS?
I would think so. I need to talk to him to make sure he understands the seriousness of the next.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Yep.
Let's have conversations with students so they can see where they are and they could continue to move forward. Now, do we want to just release Landon completely from any type of interventions? I would say probably not. Even if he tests out of math, he could continue to do your Zerns. I don't know if he goes to the daytime tutor, but we'll have to find another intervention and then move someone else in. So, let's look at someone who may not be growing in the right direction or whatever reason.
growth, but I saw it earlier with Gabby.
Okay.
She was,
Trying to blow her up. Titan.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yes. So Gabby actually had her reeval the other day, and I was actually able to show and explain it to her mom. I felt like an amazing instructional leader. One thing, Gabby started out high, very high, then she dropped, and then it looked like she may have been stagnant.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's looking, the trend line has her going in the right direction. But I feel like knowing Gabby, her work ethic,
Mm-hmm.
if we have that conversation with her,
Yeah.
she will be like, okay, you know, the visual to me is what really helped
Yeah.
me to realize this. So that's what I really want y'all to continue to do with your data for MTSS, so we can just be able to push these kids in the right direction. These are cheerleaders, okay? Is there any scholars that you saw that did not have a trend line?
Well, Diego had one, but it's flat. He's staying pretty level. Ramaya and Claire did not. I don't think Claire did. But Ramaya misses a lot, and it's,
But see,
don't know what to do when she's,
that's the one thing we're able to articulate.
yeah.
We're able to say, okay, this may be reason why she's not here.
Yeah.
And then that's when we, you know, do what we need to do for the external factors to see
Yeah.
about getting her here, or what we need to do to make sure she's receiving what she's not getting. But like Jamari Jacobs, he just popped all the way up. He stood out.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. You can tell when they're in the mood.
Yes, that's what it looks like. You
Yeah.
can tell, like what we noticed in 8th grade on October 31st,
Yeah.
they did not take it seriously at all. As far as like, it was like
across the
Happy
board.
Halloween.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not-
Like everybody but like Zuri went down. Like down to
Everybody.
0.
It was like boom,
Yeah.
and then they spiked back.
Yeah.
They spiked back up on
You
the
can
last.
tell when they're not on it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much all I wanted to definitely show you about the data, and the goal. The SMART goal is we want to decrease the gaps. So we want to narrow the gaps, and I feel like with the MTSS, how we're doing it, it's established. They're actually focused this year. We're going to fill in those gaps, and we're going to see them tackle that grade level with more confidence.
Yeah.
What I did know, what Ms. Rose did let me know, was here you have, we have a lot of data points that we can start looking at. They have 3 map assessments. They'll have 3 interim assessments and 8 unit tests. And we also have their projections. So Mr. Smith, there is
You have it.
Oh, I have
Power BOI.
It's from Dr. Weed, I think.
Well, I printed it for you because I was
Oh,
just
okay.
looking at it too.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I was just
I
looking
didn't
at
know
it.
that was, I thought that was your copy.
I was gonna give it to him. But on here, and Ms. Kirby, I didn't get to yours because I had to meet with the students.
No worries.
These are all of your students and their EBOS projections.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was looking at Kalia, for example. This is her fall map when she was in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
This is her spring map,
Mm-hmm.
but this is her fall map this year.
So we grew a little bit.
We grew a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is what she made on her interim,
Okay.
5th grade.
And this is what
What
she
she
did
made.
in this
Yes.
time.
This,
And
no,
these are percentiles.
no, these are her 3 interims.
Right.
That's all feel ready.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is what she just did for you.
She went down. We went down, but then we went.
That's
That's EOG.
That's what she did on her EOG percentile.
Okay.
So this is where she is projected to be. But this is what
where-
she, yeah,
this is
so
where
she's growing in the right direction.
Mhm.
She's beating this score. So when you look at her unit test on the standards, we want her over 9 in the percentile.
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't really dug into your unit test and gone back through grades yet, but that's something, if I send you this sheet, you could just start plugging the unit test in through this, on this spreadsheet, and you'll just have it all laid out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ms. Grove has this little pink piece of paper,
Yeah.
not that one, I'm talking about the end of the year that she presents me with.
Oh, yeah.
It says pass, might not, definitely not, and then we calculate it by there. It's like she was spot on. But she just used this. She just used the data and everything.
Big data sheet.
I love those.
Okay, but I'll talk about that.
We're not gonna bring it out
Nope,
yet.
nothing.
Because basically everything on here is here, and this
Yeah.
is what she showed 8th grade when they had data conferences.
It's scholar by scholar,
Yeah.
because obviously,
But
Can't show them all.
the one thing I wanna attach to
With the
these
standards.
is MTSS graphs.
For the ones,
I
yeah.
was,
And I have
I was
that
gonna say,
in there.
can we show them the graphs, cause I think showing them,
Yes.
of course showing them the data helps.
No,
but
the
like,
graph
the
shows.
visual,
Mhm.
I was like, this is where you're supposed to be,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this line, now you're either above it and you
Yeah.
grow, or you're kinda below it and you're not really doing anything.
That was the conversation. The kids were like, well, whenever I showed them, they're like, they didn't understand why they were taking so many progress monitoring.
Mhm.
They didn't understand why they take the map. And I'm like, this is the information it shows us.
But this is good real life stuff, cause when they do the
So
slow.
you're right, showing the kids is
So, rise over run, they know this line, they know they wanna be above the line, so
Yeah.
they know, the visual to me is what I feel like Claire, she's missing something, we need another progress monitor her, cause she's
Yeah,
flat.
she's missed a progress
Mhm.
monitoring days, I think.
So I know next week is gonna be crazy and the week after, but if there is a day, whether MTS or non-MTS, and you all wanna do conferences but have some extra support, let one of us know. And, I mean, that way you can have those one-on-one conversations.
So like in the morning, Coach Brown's gonna be available, starting probably next week. You know, so they can use him to, no.
Oh, not that.
Oh,
Okay.
But maybe I could use him to maybe come down, maybe in your morning classes, if you want to pull some kids
Yeah.
to
Got you.
have conferences, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good
So,
idea, cause you guys have core 1 and core 2.
Yeah,
That's a
so,
good idea.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's
So,
100% a great idea.
at least get those, and, she did it with every.
Well, I haven't done it with my Math 1 groups yet, because it's a lot, but this,
I would definitely do it with your MTS.
Yes.
I would say, so
Yeah,
the
start
focus first
here.
is MTSS,
Yes,
and
let's
then
start here.
gradually get to the core classes.
and I would encourage you to start with our accelerated kids, because based on my experience and our goal this year, our goal from last year is our accelerated kids,
Aren't growing.
they're not growing.
Right.
This was my biggest factor with growing those kinds
Yes.
of scholars who are good at math, we know they're gonna pass, giving them the data and like showing them on EVOS, their graph, and they're like, wait, what?
They have a certain competitive spirit
Yeah.
about them, like they don't wanna
So,
go down.
I would
They
do
wanna go up.
MTSS and then focus on accelerated first, and then,
But I wonder though, like if we look at the EVIS data a little closely and look at our accelerated students who did not grow,
yeah,
I want a way to track their growth, cause
yeah.
I need a way to track them, cause like, we're gonna have some big growth, but I want even bigger from the students that are proficient, they need to be, they need to
Growing.
grow as well. All right, we will plan to meet again, what are you thinking?
Well, it's December. so-
Yeah, in
I was
January.
like, well,
We have, actually, we'll have another progress monitoring data point to talk about next time as well, because we have
Yeah.
one Friday.
Mhm.
And then we can just continue to look at the trends and the growth and cheer for our babies, because you are two powerhouse teachers. You've earned your T for teaching. We have survived first, second, third, fourth years. Now, it's time to take that data, so when you ever leave or have to go somewhere, you wanna present that next person with blue or green data.
Blue.
That blue, blue is where the money was.
Alan J. Blue, that's what I
Where is the
meant.
money reside? Blue.
But
Thank you.